Hi everyone, let me kick off. Thanks so much for the West Midlands Combined Authority hosting us today on the Self-Employment and Enterprise webinar. My name is Diane and I am Programs Manager at Enterprise Nation. We have so many great employers here who will be sharing kind of their stories that they support their individuals, their business networks on how to start their self-employment journey. Little bit of background about myself and Enterprise Nation. So what I do is I work with some of our corporates, some of our partners to support the wider ecosystem of entrepreneurs. Right now we have a program with Amazon called the Amazon Small Business Accelerator that was actually born out of the pandemic, knowing that there will be so many people who will be looking to entrepreneurship and maybe taking their business online if they haven't been doing so before. So we support entrepreneurs with their first steps into self-employment, selling online, promoting their services if they're a business service or consultant online as well. And then with the wider wraparound support from Enterprise Nation, we connect them to resources such as advisors, our daily lunch and learns, some of our ebooks, and the other community members as well. So it's great to be able to hear from other business support and self-employment support networks as well. We have a great range of people that will be speaking to us today about the different resources that they share, the kind of people that come to their services as well, and what they see with the future of self-employment looking like. So we have a National Career Service with the Library of Birmingham, obviously with Enterprise Nation, Emma Jones joining us there, Prince's Trust, Access to Business, Coventry Council Job Shop, and the Coventry Chamber of Commerce as well. NatWest will be joining us, and the North Warwickshire and South Leicester College as well, sharing a bit more about supporting students into their self-employment journey. So it's great to see so many people joining us today, knowing that this is kind of a really high topic of top of people's minds, thinking about what their next step in career might look like. It may not be with employment, it may be something of their own, it might be something where people will be having a day job, but also having a side hustle as well, working part-time. And it's really exciting to see what the sort of landscape of self-employment will look like in the future. So I'm going to get started. We've got a really great roster of people who will be speaking to us today. And I'm going to hand over to Rachel Evans. She's joining us from the National Career Service. They provide information, advice and guidance to help you make your decisions on learning and training and ways of working in the future as well. So I'll hand over to Rachel now and she'll share a little bit more about what they're working on.
That's great. Thanks very much, Diane. I appreciate that. Good morning, everybody. My name, as Diane said, is Rachel Evans, and I'm the Employer Engagement Manager for the National Career Service for the West Midlands and Staffordshire region. The reason I'm wanting to speak to you today is really to talk to you about the National Career Service and how it can support you, whatever your journey may be. Now, that may be, you know, that you're looking at setting up your own business, or it may indeed be that at some point in your career you want additional support. So I'll talk to you a little bit about how we can help. If we can go to the next slide, that'd be great. Thank you. So the National Career Service offers you free, impartial and personalised advice and guidance to help you make your career decisions, and it's available to anybody over the age of 19. To actually make decisions about your future, it's important to know what's out there and what's right for you. It may well be that it's the opportunity now for you to be self-employed. It might be that you're wanting to explore all opportunities, and self-employment is purely one of those options for you. Whatever stage you're at in your career, we can help you understand what your skills are, what skills you might need to have and adapt to new jobs, new circumstances and opportunities. Not only that, but the National Career Service can help you with your applications as well and provide you with support in that. You only get one chance to make a first impression. If you are setting up your own business, you've got to get that right first time. It's important to make it count. There are many options open to you when you're thinking about your next steps, and we can provide information, advice and guidance to help you make the best decisions for you, whether that's on learning, training or work opportunities. So there's ongoing support, and it's not just one meeting and that's it. You can have a meeting with a careers advisor, and it is a sort of an hour session. It's not a quick 10-minute update. It's an hour session to actually invest time in you and your future. And the National Career Service is there to provide you with ongoing career support, whatever stage of life or stage in your career you are at. Okay, if we can go to the next slide, please. So how can we actually help you? The National Career Service website has various tools to help you understand and realise all of your skills and to highlight potential roles that you may suit, but equally career choices that may work for you, like being self-employed. So you may be unemployed and seeking a role, or starting your own business. You may be working but seeking a new, different role. You may even be happy in your current role but want to support your and develop your skills further, enabling you to progress and enhance your career development. So the support that we can provide you is in careers advice and career change, as that may be that you're looking to set up your business. It's about effective job searching if you're only looking at various different routes for you, identifying your transferable and job specific skills, creating a professional tailored CV and covering letter. And this skill will also help you in putting information and platforms together, like a website if you're looking at being self-employed. Using social media for job searching and recruitment purposes, as well as promoting your own services, your own business. If you are looking at application forms, we can help in how you complete those and personal statements, and we can also help in interview preparation and mock interviews. Learning new skills, both through formal and informal training, and apprenticeship opportunities as well. We can also help source voluntary work for you and help you with university courses and applications as well. The information on other organisations that can help you with specific queries like self-employment is also available. So there's a lot of information and advice and guidance for you. If you're looking at being self-employed, it could be that you need mentors or coaching, and we can provide you and signpost you in the right direction to actually get the support that you specifically need. It isn't a case of everybody needs exactly the same support, so we can understand what specifically your requirements are and what you need, so point you in the right direction from there. Okie doke, could we go to the next slide, please? So, as far as getting in touch with us, if you want any support, please just get in touch with one of our advisors. Our advisors can discuss your strengths, your skills and ambitions. We can help you consider your options and suggest different steps you could take, giving you information about your local labour market and identifying opportunities to support your goals. When you're thinking about self-employment, it's very important to understand your target audience, to understand, who you are marketing yourself to, how you actually need to go about doing that. You can't just jump in feet first. You really need to understand the marketplace and understand where and how you go about promoting your products, your skills, your services, and making sure that you're reaching the right audience. That is what you need to grow your business. So having local labour market information is absolutely critical for you to do that, and we can certainly help provide all that for you. So if you are needing support, if you literally just decide you want to have a chat to somebody, you're thinking about going self-employed, but you're really not sure if it's the right thing for you to do just yet, then call our helpline and speak to a careers advisor. The phone number is 0800 100 900, and our lines are open 7 days a week from 8 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Calls are free from landlines and most mobile numbers as well. So very, very importantly, please get in touch and let us help you achieve your goals and ambitions. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Rachel. That was really helpful. I think we can all recommend speaking to people, having direct advice, especially when people are starting out as well. So I think that was really useful to hear more about what the National Career Service can offer. Going to hand over now to Paramjit Hans from the Library of Birmingham. It's a one-stop shop for business advice and support for those who might be looking to start a business as well. I'll hand over to you now, Paramjit. How are you?
Oh, well, thanks. Thank you, Dan. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. My name is Paramjit Hans, and I am a business and IP advisor here at the Library of Birmingham, and the services we provide and how we can help you with your business journey. So we're based on level 3 of the Library of Birmingham. so we're business and learning. And we're part of the BIPC national network. Now, BIPC stands for Business and IP Centres. There's a network of about 13 across the country. And it was set up by the British Library about 10 years ago. And the idea behind the network is to provide a standard quality service throughout the country. So wherever you go, you can access a BIPC centre and you will get the same quality of advice. And we're also part of the Enterprise for Success Business Support Programme, which we're going to be running for the next 2 years. And business and learning actually covers all aspects of business, but employment and learning as well. So obviously we're going to focus on business and how we can support you with your business journey. So our focus in terms of helping individuals is mainly aimed at pre-start, and so we're not restricted to just Birmingham residents. So we help anybody who comes in and needs advice, and all our services are free. So we provide seminars, webinars, and one-to-one advice, and we take you through the whole journey from your idea straight and looking at your business plan, looking at how you can get funding, and the legal side of it as well. So what legal structure you need for your business, and how the IP, what IP is appropriate to your to business as well. And we're unique in that we're one of the few organisations which have qualified business and IP advisors within our organisation, and it's really important to make sure that those two work together, because IP is something that most businesses ignore. So if you're looking to set up a creative business, you need to know all about copyright, and that's an essential part of intellectual property. So if you're an inventor, you're gonna need to know about patents, designs, and all businesses will need to register a trademark for their business. So we can advise you on that, how to make sure how you can apply for those trademarks, designs, patents, but also how to make sure you're not infringing on anybody else's, so that you don't get into trouble later on down the line. So we're currently closed, but we are offering remote appointment online services, and on the screen there you've got the address of where to go if you do want to book an appointment. You can get directly in touch with us through this email here, and we are all on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on our website as well. And I'm just going to go through a few people who've actually helped and how we've how they progressed since they came to us. So we've got an example of 3 people. We've got a company called Dot Moth who came to us for IP advice, looking to register the trademark. They were based in Harborne, and they produce Birmingham-based memorabilia for things like tablecloths, tea towels, anything like that. And they weren't sure how to protect their designs, and we went through the process of how to protect them, register their trademark, and now they've been trading for about 3 years now successfully. And the other company I was going to focus on was a company called Brumhouse. Again, it's just the one gentleman on his own, producing quality sort of portraits and pictures of Birmingham, very, very stylish. And again, he was looking to protect the copyright on his pictures, and we showed him how to do that. And because we work with our library shop, we're able to actually sell some of the work if you're creative through the shop. So there's an avenue there if you are a Birmingham creative, and you know, we can actually, if your work is Birmingham focused, or it's helping people with reading, or has that reading focus, we might be able to put your product within the shop. And you'll definitely be part of our success stories if you get to start the business, and we hope you all will. We also work with our local partners. So we've got a company called Circle Square, who are marketing. We've got Barker Battelle, who are IP lawyers, and Grant Finder, who provide information on grants, and Ibis World and Mintel, who do market research databases. So we work with all of those to provide seminars and webinars that form an essential part of your business startup journey. So I hope that's given you a bit of an idea of what we do. Just to sum up though, it's the complete journey from your idea, hopefully right up to when you started your business. So I'm just going to finish now with a little 1 minute sort of promotional video that will show you, that will give you an idea of what we do. So onto the video, thank you. I'll hand you back to Diane. So thank you very much for coming today, and look forward to catching up with everyone.
Amazing, thanks Paramjit. At Enterprise Nation, we work quite closely with the business library in the City of London, so I know that they've got some great resources there, and it's amazing to hear that Birmingham City Library as well has got some of those business resources, especially around IP. Some of the things I think entrepreneurs don't tend to think about as top of mind because they're so keen to work with their customers or really think about their product, but it is really good to protect your idea and your business, thinking about the future really, if you haven't got all of those IP resources protected. So thanks for sharing that as well. So I'm going to hand over now to my boss. I'm sure she won't like me saying that, Emma Jones. She's the founder of Enterprise Nation, and she'll talk a little bit more about some of the programs we're working on, specifically around supporting entrepreneurs, but also not just to start, but to grow as well, to make sure that their business is sustainable. And so we have so many resources, not just with our advisors, but also our education platforms, a lot of our corporate partners as well. So I'll hand over to Emma and she can fill you in a little bit more.
Amazing. Thank you, Diane. You're my boss today, so I'm following your rules and timing. So lovely to be here. As Diane mentioned, my name is Emma Jones. I'm founder of a business. We're a private sector company, a business called Enterprise Nation. But as Diane mentioned, our job is very much to help anyone who wants to start and grow their own business, to help them do just that. So it's amazing to be here this morning, and just incredible. Just even in hearing the first couple of speakers, I was reflecting back to when I started my first business, which shockingly was 20 years ago when I started my first company. And certainly from hearing the Library of Birmingham, I lived in Manchester at the time when I started my first business, and there was very little support available for people who were starting companies. It's incredible now, fast forward 20 years, and you've got all these people today sharing what they can do and how they can help. But I always remember I started my business on a budget, as everyone does, and Manchester Library at the time offered free internet access. But you had to go in and you had to queue up, and you got 1 hour at a time on the computer terminal. And I was starting an internet company in the year 2000. My first business was a .com company, so I had to do lots and lots of research online, and I would queue up, have an hour for free, and then go back and queue again. So it was huge thanks to Manchester Library that helped me get started in my first business. So for those of you who are logged on today who are thinking of starting a business, I have been in your shoes. I've been there twice. I started that first business in the year 2000 and then sold that company within a couple of years, and Enterprise Nation has been my second startup. Despite the fact we're over 10 years old at Enterprise Nation, it still very much feels like a startup, which is quite a nice feeling to have. So I can't have kind of 7 minutes with a group of startups without offering a couple of startup tips, which I just wanted to give you before going on to mention the programs that we run to hopefully help you in your success. So the first tip I would offer is all around coming up with the idea for your business. And you've heard that Birmingham Library is very much on hand to help you protect that idea once you've got it. But quick piece of advice, if you're thinking about, I want to start a business, but I just don't know the idea that I want to start, ask yourself 3 questions. The first is, have you spotted a gap in the market? So have you tried to look for something that you just can't find? That could mean that other people are looking for that product or service too. Question number 2, what is your passion, your hobby, or your skill? And can that be turned into a way of making a living? Probably the biggest piece of advice I give to anyone starting a business is try and base a business on doing what you love. Because if you can start a business on your passion or the thing that is your hobby, all the hours that you're going to have to put into it hopefully will never really feel like work. And then the third question is, have you seen somebody do something that you think you can do better yourself? So pose those 3 questions to yourself. That should help you come up with the idea for your business. And I'm sure speakers will talk about it over the rest of this morning, but our then piece of advice next is write yourself a business plan. And lots of people, when they're starting a business, kind of say, oh my goodness, I don't want to faff around with writing a really long document. But just bear one thing in mind, which is in writing a business plan, we at Enterprise Nation refer to it as having a route map. So essentially what you're saying is, this is where I am now. This is where I want to go with my business, and these are the steps that I need to take to get there. And as a very final quick piece of advice, it's really easy to remember what to include in a business plan. There's 5 things, and it spells I'm off. So I is for the idea, M is for your market, so who's the market you're going to serve, O is for the operations, so what kit you need to get started in business, and usually that's pretty much just an internet connection, maybe some business cards. The first F is for finances, so that's doing a basic cash flow forecast and looking to see if you need to raise any money to get started. And I know NatWest is speaking today, but there's places like startup loans, crowdfunding, which have become very popular as a route for startups to raise money. And then the final F is what I refer to as friends. So you've got your idea, you know your market, you know the operations you need to get going, you've done your financial cash forecast and you know if you need to raise any cash, And then your friends is essentially your professional support network. Who do you go to when you've got questions on anything from accounting to social media? And having that support network throughout your startup journey is really, really important. So that segues into the support that Enterprise Nation can offer. And I guess we offer 3 key things for startups. And as Diane mentioned, we continue to offer it as your business grows. The first is events. So we do a daily event at the moment called Lunch and Learn. I'm not going to mention that you go on today's because it's at 12 o'clock and you'll still be on this session. But every day from 12 to 12:30, we've been doing this actually since March of last year. Every day we host a 30-minute webinar. We actually use this same tool that you've logged onto, GoToWebinar, and they're completely free, and essentially it's experts giving top tips on different topics. So today it's how you build a brand. I think tomorrow it is literally how you start a business. So lots of different topics that are covered in daily free events. We also do more bigger kind of national high profile events, of which one I think which is relevant for today's audience is this Saturday we have our big national start of the year startup show. So it's called Startup 2021. We've got 2,000 startups rocking up on Saturday. This is the 9th year we've run this event, and it's the first time it's online, so we shall see how that goes on Saturday. But Startup 2021, we've got over 100 speakers across 11 zones, and essentially in one event it gives you all the things that you need to start a business: how to raise money, how to build a home on the web, how to find a co-founder, how to figure out how to make your first sale. So we do lots of events to help startups get going with practical knowledge, but also those events give some inspiration as well. A couple of the entrepreneurs we've got speaking on Saturday, one is the founder of Huel, which is a nutrition company where he started it again. I think his budget was £1,500 when he started, and he's grown it to like £40 million in sales in a crazy short amount of time. And then yesterday we announced that we'd got the very young founder of a new tech company called Hopin, which is an event platform. Again, he's built this business incredibly quickly, and he's coming to tell us how he went about doing it. So hopefully people who will inspire you, because you can hear the journey of how they've started, but also lots of practical tips to help you do the same. So events is one thing that we offer, and then the other thing we offer is essentially connections to advice and content on our platform. So enterprisenation.com is a very vibrant platform. We have thousands of businesses who come on every day looking for lots of content to figure out how to do things. For startups, we have a free startup kit on the platform, and you can also connect. We have over 15,000 advisors on the platform, so you can sign up for free to become a member, and you can access free advice calls with all of these advisors. And they are accountants, lawyers, HR experts, digital marketing professionals. So you can connect with them, and you can essentially have what's called a free discovery call where you get 30 minutes of their advice to help your startup get going. And then the third thing that we offer, and I'll just briefly cover this, is what we call programs. And Diane mentioned one of them. So we run programs for mainly kind of big global technology brands who want to help small businesses start and grow. So a couple of the programs that we're running at the moment, one is called the Amazon Small Business Accelerator. Diane mentioned this one. I think she'll refer to it later on in the session. And this is where we're offering free e-learning to lots and lots of businesses on the topic of how to get online. So we have e-learning courses on everything from building your own website to figuring out how to use Instagram, maybe using TikTok to kind of reach out to your customers. So there's lots of free e-learning. And then we also run free boot camps. So these are 1 or 2 day events, which again give you a really intensive experience in terms of how to build an online business. Actually, the next one coming up is all about exporting, which may be a little bit kind of, you might be just starting out, never mind thinking about exporting, but that one's on the 26th of January. Another program we run is for Facebook called She Means Business, where again we offer free training to female founders, particularly on how to boost your business on Facebook and Instagram. And then more recently, we launched a program with Uber, where we're helping Uber earners who quite often, of course, have got their own business because they're earning money from driving or couriering, but they also want to start another business alongside that. So we're helping them get started in a program called Uber Business Builder. And then if there's any startups in the audience who are thinking of starting something in the food industry, Uber, of course, is very focused on helping restaurants or new food businesses get started through doing delivery. So if you're starting a baking business at home, or you want to start a street food business for when everyone gets back out onto the streets, then have a look at all of the Uber e-learning which we've got on our platform, because it helps you figure out how to reach your customers. So it feels like an incredible hustings event today. Everyone's got like 7 minutes to pitch to you on what they offer, but hopefully that's been a little bit helpful. As I say, a couple of startup tips up top, but also the advice we offer or the support we offer in the form of events, content and advice, and these incredible support programs which are sponsored and backed. They wouldn't be able to happen without these amazing brands who deliver that training to you. So do check it out, all available on enterprisenation.com, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Thanks very much for listening.
Thanks, Emma. Always lovely to have Emma sharing some of her tips for starting a business. She's been there more than once, and she advises small businesses all the time, you know, on our lunch and learns as well. So please go ahead and check out what our calendar looks like coming up this week and next as well. So it's great to have all of these different support networks sharing about how they support not only individuals, but also work with brands and local authorities as well. And I think one of the main things we've seen across all of the people that's spoken today is around finding advice, how important it is to connect with people who have potentially more experience, how important it is to look at sort of education pieces to fill in some of those skills gaps that you might not have, having never been self-employed before. So it is really good to see how these kind of all gel together and really complement. So have a look at all of our speakers today and just see if you can connect with some of the people in terms of some of their content, in terms of some of their advice, and maybe they'll have some of their own webinars moving forward. So I'm going to hand over now to Prince's Trust. So we have Barbara Wilcox and Jenna Hyde here. Barbara is an operations manager with the responsibility of basically looking after the Prince's Trust Enterprise Programme, which is across the West Midlands and also Birmingham. She is accompanied by Jenna. She is a young person who's supported by Prince's Trust, and she'll also be sharing her experience working with Prince's Trust today. Thanks so much. Lovely to see everyone. I'll hand over to you both now.
Thanks very much, Diane. Can everyone hear me? I'm actually on a phone, so I just want to make sure everyone can hear me before I kick off.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Lovely, lovely. So yes, as Diane mentioned, my name's Barbara Wilcox, and I look after all things enterprise or self-employment for the Prince's Trust across Birmingham and the West Midlands. Now, hopefully you can see some information about our enterprise programme on your screens. I just want to quickly talk you through the different stages so that anyone who is interested can see what we offer and on screen, and you'll be able to see how to contact us if you'd like to find out more. So the Prince's Trust Enterprise Programme is available to anyone aged between 18 and 30. We are a youth charity, and we do have to comply with our age criteria. So anyone 18 to 30 who's interested in starting up in business and who'd like some help and support. So the first step is to contact us and get booked onto our initial information session, and that's Inspire on the screen. We hold these every week. We're holding them virtually via MS Teams, and the session lasts for about 45 minutes to an hour, very informal. There's an opportunity for you to ask any questions that you may wish to in a group session, and we'll go through exactly what we offer and what you would need to do to participate if you wanted to join the programme. So if you like what you hear on the information session, you can then book onto one of our 2-day Explore Enterprise training courses, and that's the Stage 2 Explore on the screen. We deliver our training weekly, again, virtually at the moment via MS Teams. In the normal world, we do face-to-face training as well, but obviously that's out of the question at the moment. On this 2-day training, we'll cover all the things that you need to consider if you want to consider self-employment as an option, and it's very much the things that have already been mentioned. So the legal structure of your business, marketing, sales, bookkeeping, HMRC, how to complete your tax returns and what records you need to keep, and business planning and profit and loss, break even, all these awful terms that scares everybody. But we do break each section down and go through it in such a way it will make sense, especially when you're applying it to your own business idea. So following the 2-day training, you'd be assigned to one of my execs who cover the area that you live in. So this is where we're looking at stage 3 and getting your business launched. They would have regular one-to-one sessions with you, again at the moment virtually, but in the real world we would do face-to-face meetings if that was how you prefer. And they'll support you in putting together your business plan, researching your customers, looking at your financials, checking that you have a viable business idea, because that is so important, and checking to see if you need finance to start your business. If you do need finance, they can work with you and help you apply for funding through startup loans. We're a delivery partner and we can support you every single step of that application process. Once you're happy that you have a viable business idea and you know if you need funding or not, either way, you'd be ready to launch your business and start trading. And at this stage, we introduce you to one of our volunteer business mentors, and this is the stage 4 boost section. These are people who have sound business experience. They want to give something back to their local community by giving support to our new businesses. They would meet with you every month for the first 12 months and then every 2 months for the next 12 months. And this means for 2 years you get free help and business guidance from someone who's totally impartial and who just wants you and your business to succeed and flourish. It means you're never alone. There's always somebody to help you at the end of a phone or email or face-to-face if we ever return to normal. And we reckon it's this support that helps our businesses be so successful. We always say being self-employed can be quite lonely, and it's just so nice to have someone to talk to bounce ideas off, to discuss situations or challenges that you may have. We also offer post-start workshops in finance, social media, sales, and this is an opportunity to keep in touch with you, but also for you to network with other young people who are at the same stage as yourselves. And the Prince's Trust does always stay in touch with the people that we support. And as we said earlier, I'm accompanied today by Jenna. She's a young lady who went through this process a couple of years ago, and she's now just going to share with you her experience of starting her business with the support of the Prince's Trust. And if anyone's interested in finding out more, please make a note of our free phone number, our website or text address, and just get in touch and take that first step with us. And Jenna, over to you.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, so I'm Jenna, and on there it says House of Hyde Media. That was the business that I set up with the Prince's Trust initially. So when I was 22, 23, and I'm now 26. So the Prince's Trust, excuse me, have been there for me every single step of the way of my entrepreneurial career and self-employment. So I've now pivoted the business to a company called House of Hyde, and that is aimed at the education sector. But I wanted to talk a little bit about when I first decided I wanted to be self-employed and work for myself and set up my own business. The first challenges I met were obtaining finance, and then also looking for that mentorship, because like Barbara said, can be quite lonely. So I reached out to the Prince's Trust. To be honest, it was my mum's recommendation when I found that I couldn't get finance. I'd just come out of uni, so it was quite difficult to obtain that startup finance. And my mum suggested the enterprise program with the Prince's Trust. So somebody, I put a call into them. They got back to me really, really quickly, had me into one of their centres really quickly, and that would all be done virtually now. But and And we spoke about the enterprise programme and the opportunity to pitch for startup finance, and also to pitch for within that sort of enterprise programme, that mentorship that you get for 2 years, which is absolutely amazing, because the Prince's Trust still make you feel like, even though it's yours and you're self-employed and you're working for yourself, you've still got a team around you for support. And I've been in touch with them regarding loads of different sort of challenges that have come up with my business. And as I said, they've supported me in pivoting through this difficult time where the media industry was hit quite hard. But definitely, I would suggest, if you are thinking about self-employment, just have a conversation with somebody at the Prince's Trust and see what they might be able to support you with. As I said, there's the finance mentorship, and also feeling like you've got that support for any challenges that come up. You can touch base with anybody on the enterprise programme or any of the execs on the Prince's Trust. And the mentorship, although the finance the finance opportunity is fantastic, but the mentorship that they offer you for 2 years is such a great gift, because they really offer that support and wisdom, and it's really good just to bounce ideas off of your mentor and to have those conversations where maybe your friends and family are a bit fed up of you talking about your business, or you don't feel like you can check in with them. That mentor is a fantastic resource. So yeah, I can't speak highly enough of the Prince's Trust. So if you are thinking about going self-employed, I would really recommend that you just have that initial conversation and see if there's any ways that they can support you. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Amazing. Thanks, Barbara and Jenna. That was really useful. I think listening to Barbara as well, it shares how much people and communities have pivoted online in the last 10 to 12 months to keep offering the support that they were normally giving in person, and make sure that their individuals are still served when they're setting up on their own. It can be a lonely road when you're self-employed. So it's great to hear A, success stories like Jenna, and B, that kind of network continues on well after kind of that first initial startup stage. So thanks everyone for sharing more about that. So next I'm going to hand over. Oh, thanks, Barbara. I'm going to hand over to Josie, Carol, and Nesta from Access to Business. Great to see everyone here. Access to Business today, the team will be speaking about their self-employment support that they're able to offer across the Black Country. They have 2 EU-funded self-employment projects that they'll probably share with you today. They'll also touch on some of the services that they've set up to support startups and the SME sectors in the Black Country. So I'll hand over to the team now. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Morning. Hi, good morning, everyone. It keeps asking me if I want to share my webcam, but I'm choosing not to because there'll be too many of us on screen. I'll just do a quick introduction, then hand over to my 3 very capable colleagues. Access to Business has been delivering services for employment and self-employment for 17 years across the whole of the Black Country. We have 2 large projects at the moment supporting self-employment, our RAISE project and our Bridges projects. Over both projects, we have 17 steady qualified advisors supporting clients and 11 employment advisors. Together with mentors, we employ an ex-bank manager and also someone from the Money Advice Service. So we offer a lot of support that my colleagues will tell you about. They'll also tell you about the workshops and one-to-one support that we do. But like all of our colleagues today that have spoken about what they do, we do very similar. And I think it's really encouraging to see so many organisations working together, and to know that across the West Midlands and Black Country areas that we offer so many brilliant services. And perhaps there's opportunities after today to do some cross referrals. We do events. Clearly, it's been very difficult during the COVID period, but we do small and large events monthly, the big large events annually. And we work closely with other providers across the Black Country. Some time ago, when we had our extension on our ERDF project, we were asked by funders to set up a team of enterprise providers. So we're the founding members of the BET team, and that's the Business Enterprise team. And that's made up of Access to Business, Prince's Trust, either from West Bromwich, local councils, growth hubs, where we work together to complement each other's services rather than compete, because I think we've all seen too much competition coming into our area. So I think by aligning our services and appreciate how we can all support each other, it's added value to what we do. Currently, we have some new programmes about to come on. We've worked for a long time with NatWest, and both Carol and Carol have been working on the Back Her Business programme with NatWest, and that's been hugely successful. The Bridges team work with Steps to Work. We're a subcontractor to Steps to Work. I have to say, we're the most successful subcontractor. And I'll just shout up for Leicester at the moment. He's just had a 100% gold award on his latest audit, because the team do such a fantastic job. But we're about to launch again our new eBay services. A couple of years ago, we worked closely with eBay, and we became eBay's first official UK eBay training centre, because as previous colleagues have said today, I think there's lots of value in encouraging people to turn their hobby into a business, and particularly at times where, you know, we can't go out and we're sitting at home. We've seen a massive increase in the numbers of people wanting self-employment support, and we think by taking people down the eBay route, you know, that's going to be a solution for many people. I think I've talked enough now, and I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Carol Taylor.
Hello, good morning everyone. Everyone's got an amazing offer, and you know, it's lovely to listen to you, and we've worked with Prince's Trust in the past as well. So hi Barbara, I haven't seen you for some time. But
hi.
I think really for me, you know, we're going to go through our offer and be very brief on this, but what I do think is we've had, last year was an amazing year where we shut our offices in Wolverhampton and thought, oh my goodness, what are we going to do now? And we had an amazing turnaround of people who want to set up a business, who just have come to us despairingly. They've lost their jobs, they've been furloughed. And we've been really, I think the first couple of months of my career of Access to Business was very different last year, because we're sort of agony aunts and, you know, listen to people's sort of different situations. And now it's helped us put together an absolutely fantastic offer. We're all working on MS Teams. First time I've been on this Go webinar, so this is all new to me. But you know, it's really sort of teaching people new skills. So we've all not only told them and showed them how to set up a business, but we've actually said, look, just because you're online and at home, you can still network, you can still learn, you can still, you know, set up your business. And I've got statistics which I'll just sort of fast forward to in a moment. So I'm going to sort of ask for the slides to sort of, you know, fast forward in a moment. But we've had a fantastic, you know, year, success rates. And as Josie said, we, Carol and I, we, you know, worked on our West programme with NatWest last year. And we actually supported 250 ladies in 1 year who just wanted to explore self-employment, and nearly 30 of those registered a business. And they came to us when they got children at home, you know, sort of their husbands were sort of made redundant, and they've actually turned their lives around. And I feel very proud to say that Access to Business has supported those people. Really our offer, and you know, I mean, the slides will be there. I don't know whether you want to forward to them, but our offer is really, you know, just sort of, you know, that we actually offer a wide range of courses online. They're all on MS Teams. Like Prince's Trust, we have introduction to self-employment, getting people familiar with our offer. Everything's online. We send sort of, you know, forms online. The recipients complete the forms. It is just amazing how people have just sort of, like us, sort of learnt new skills. So really, I think I'm just going to sort of briefly say that our statistics show, and I'll just, if you could just sort of forward the slides past our offer, because we do business planning, marketing and finance, and our self-employment route. So if you could forward to the self-employment route, which is slide 11, would that be okay? Can you see that there? I don't know if anybody can see. Is that on? Oh yeah, okay. So really, our clients comes along to us. We have a lot of referrals, Job Centre, New Enterprise Allowance Scheme. We cross-refer to Prince's Trust. We have the Growth Hub, and then we have introduction to self-employment. You have a mentor, which is myself and 4 of my fellow advisors. And And then really it is just sort of, nurturing them to sort of, do a business planning, marketing, finance. And finance is a difficult one where these people just haven't got any money. We've got to deal with people who are on benefits, but also deal with people who are furloughed or they're employed as well. So really we have a cross section. So our workshops fit with everyone really. Then we have a review, and they don't have to register a business at that time, but we're there for them. And we give some really interesting post support, which my colleague Carol will speak about. And this is our raise offer, and this is different to our bridges offer, which again Lester will speak in a moment because he's probably looking thinking, oh Carol, shut up. But I'm just so proud of what we do, and and just how we've helped so many people. Josie, I don't know if they want to talk about the statistics. They're on another slide, but we have just had an amazing couple of years, and we've gone from strength to strength. So if I could just hand over to Carol and just to speak about our post support, and then we'll speak about Bridges, which is a vital project that we run in our organisation, who help a different type of person who needs our additional support. So Carol, can I just go to you with the post support, and then we'll go to Lester? Would that be okay?
Carol, can I just say, you said all the services are online. Can I just say that's only during COVID period? We do have physical centres where we give support as well, but obviously during COVID everything's moved online.
Well, we're hoping the office is going to open, and hopefully that will be this year. So that's a good point, Josie. But at the moment we are online. So, Carol, do you want to mention our post support?
Yes, hello everybody. I'm Carol Slater. I work alongside Carol and the other team members that all support the clients that come through on our RAISE project. We have lots of businesses that come through along the other people that are here today to give business support. A lot of people, it's just a dream. They have an idea and they're not really too sure, whether self-employment is actually for them. But we have a lot of businesses that go through the first stage of the customer journey, that complete their business plan. They look at the finance and marketing and think, well, I'm really ready to go. So once they've completed the first stage of the workshops and they've decided they'd like to register the business, they can move on to our next level of support. Now, the next level of support really goes into a little bit more depth of what they need to do to run their business, how they get their social media out there, looking at LinkedIn, looking at Facebook, blogging, and setting up your own website again. All of those areas really. A lot of the clients have little or no experience and possibly can't afford to buy anybody in to help them get there. Another key area, obviously, we encourage all of our clients to keep their books, to make sure that they're keeping all their records. So we do look at the bookkeeping in quite a lot of detail. And of course, that annual self-assessment that I think frightens everybody to death. But I think what we can do is hold the client's hand, take them along the journey, and at least they know that they're not alone, and they do know that they've got somebody to talk to, which we do on an ongoing basis. Could I have the next slide, please? Right, one of our success stories was a client who came into us. They'd actually registered their business back in 2009, set up a limited company, and they thought they had all the experience and they were ready to go. And then all of a sudden, after a couple of months, they thought, well, actually, there's a few areas here where we think really we need a little bit more advice on. So they contacted us and said, we have registered the business. Is there still support? Well, yes, of course there is. And we welcome people who haven't gone through the first stage of the customer journey with us to come on as a registered business. Allocated to an advisor, we discussed what their needs were, what their gaps and shortfalls were, and they actually followed the workshops. Once they completed the workshops, they were actually elated the support that they'd had, and also that they'd had the chance to speak to a lot of other businesses that were in the same, should we say, the same boat as them. And I think it reassured them to know that all the questions and all the doubts that they had in their mind, everybody else was thinking exactly the same. As we mentioned earlier, we don't just leave our client on their own. Once they've completed our workshops and they've gone off to the big wide world on their own, we do a continual follow-up at 3 months and 6 months. And I'm actually delighted to say that I found this company just before Christmas. Not only do they have their own premises now, they've taken on 4 members of staff to work with them, but they recently won the Midlands Enterprise Award, which was for the new oncoming video marketing company. So many congratulations to them. And they followed the dream. They weren't afraid to ask for advice. And we're just so elated that MBI, alongside many of our other companies, are making a success of a new business, particularly in this very troubled time that we've got with the pandemic. Thank you. Lester, I think probably over to you now on the British journey.
Thank you, Carol. Okay. Yeah, my name is Lester Knight and I'm the project coordinator for the Bridges programme at Access to Business. Could we go to, oh, great stuff. If you could just go back one for me, please, that'd be great. That's brilliant. Okay, so I think we've already established, of course, certain criteria for different programmes. Ours is no different to that. As you can see, people must be 25 years and older, must have receipt of a certain income-based benefit, and have significant barriers. And I think the barriers section of that is the most crucial. The British programme is about providing people who may need extra support or flexibility the opportunity to achieve their goals, or at least have the opportunity to explore the possibility of achieving those goals. And when I say explore, if after taking part in our workshops, we do workshops on business planning, marketing, and also, of course, business finance, amongst others. If they feel that self-employment isn't for them, for instance, then that's not the end of the world. We can support these people with further training opportunities and employment. Okay, could we go to the next slide, please? Okay, we've mentioned successes, and I think that's one of the things that we've been briefed on today as regards case studies. We've had lots and lots of success, I'm pleased to say, on the Bridges programme. You can see there's a selection there. We could have gone on. Okay, so we've got lots of different things there. If there's an idea, we've heard it, believe me. But you can see that basically there isn't such thing as a bad idea. You know, we can explore them all. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so just very, very quickly, I'm aware of the time factor. Our outputs we've got there as regards participants, 365 participants. We are actually profiled for as regards achieving 54 businesses or new jobs, and 54 participants into further training, just to say that we are actually in front of target and we are anticipated to actually overachieve, which is great to hear. So that the British programme, it's going great guns. Get in touch with us if you know somebody who actually would like to explore that possibility and possibly thinks they've got certain barriers that's going to stop them. If I could pass to Josie to conclude, that'd be great.
Thank you. Can you just turn the next slide for us? I just want to quickly mention before we go off, there's our contact details about our BOSS services. Because we've been giving self-employment support for so many years, we were finding that once people had been set up, they were coming back to us and saying, well, actually, I can fit air conditioning units, but I can't use the computer. I can't afford to employ anyone yet for admin work. I don't have a postal address I can use. So we set up our own community interest company called BOSS, Back Office Services. Now, the unit that we operate BOSS from was opened by Stuart Toe, leader of the LEP, in 2017. And Stuart actually said this is such a needed service across the Black Country and wider areas, because a lot of self-employed people feel they are out on their own. Now, as a community interest company, we do make a charge. It's very competitive, but we offer things like a business address, postal service, hot desking, and all those things listed there. And it's been a great help to help businesses grow. you know, we had one business that stayed with us for a whole year, hot desking, until they were able to take on their own unit. And the list of people who've used this as a business address since the start of COVID has just increased. So that's the initiative we had as a further development to support people into self-employment. So that's all from Access to Business. Thank you. I'll just close down now. Thank you very much.
Thanks, team. That was really useful, and it's also really great to hear not only how you support individuals and small businesses, but how much you really care about what that journey looks like for them as well. It sounds like it's a real labour of love, and I think that that's something that we can all share when we're working with small businesses, that we care about the outcomes for them, and we want to see as many people successful as possible. It's also really interesting that you go through some of the talks with them to see actually is self-employment and entrepreneurship right for them, because it isn't right for everyone. It is quite a stressful way to be working, but it's also really empowering, and it's a great way for people to own and make their own revenue on their own terms as well. So our next speakers today will be Glenn and John from Coventry Job Shop. They'll be sharing a little bit more about the resources that they have. They help people to potentially revamp their CVs, get their interview skills up to speed, find local vacancies, and also support them through adult education courses that can give them the skills that they might need for self-employment. So I'll hand over to Glenn now.
Hi everyone. I can be the first to say good afternoon because we've just gone into the afternoon. So I'm just going to first of all introduce the Coventry Job Shop and the general kind of services that we offer, and then I'll talk briefly about self-employment and starting a business before handing over to John, who has a lot more detail around specific support they can offer through Coventry and Warwickshire Chamber of Commerce. So if we can go to the next slide, I'll just talk through the job shop. So the job shop is located in Coventry City Centre. It's primarily focused on Coventry residents. However, we've had a lot of customers from across the region, and you know, nobody will be turned away wherever you come from. At the moment, due to the current lockdown, everything is being delivered virtually. It's all of the same support listed here, which I'll go through, but unfortunately we're not able to have a face-to-face offer at the moment. We're hoping that that will change shortly. When we were before Christmas in the kind of tier system, we were able to offer a limited face-to-face service, which was appointment only and very much based on need, looking at kind of social distancing, so limited numbers. But as I say, we have got a very good virtual offer, and we can absolutely support you through MS Teams meetings. So it'll be similar to this format where you can talk to an advisor virtually, or if that doesn't work for you for whatever reason, we can do phone calls, emails, etc. So we offer dedicated one-to-one support for anyone that needs that from an employment advisor who will be your named advisor and can be with you for the duration of your journey into work or into self-employment. We can give assistance in developing CVs, specialised careers advice and guidance. That's really in partnership with NCS, who have been on the call and already discussed their offer. But we work very closely with NCS. Independent financial advice from one of our welfare benefit advisors who can support with any debt issues, benefit issues, finance and budgeting issues. We have can give you access to a wide range of vacancies with local employers. We work directly with a lot of employers across Coventry and Warwickshire particularly, and can give you the direct access to those vacancies. Look at training and qualifications that you might need to achieve your employment goals. We have a specifically targeted youth hub partnership with DWP for anyone 16 to 24. And really there's a lot more than that. That's just a very brief run through. But really what I will say about the job shop, it's very much a gateway into other support. It's kind of first place that many people access, where somebody can sit down with you, go through all of your needs, look at what your goals are, and then really give you some support ourselves, but also signpost you to the right other services that we work closely in partnership with you, really depending, what your needs are. There's all sorts of very interesting and different offers, some of which have been on this call. If we can go to the next slide, I'll talk a bit more about self-employment and enterprise. So as I said, we can very much be the starting point for you, very much the gateway. We don't in this area offer a lot ourselves, so our advisors are not experts in this area, but they'll be a good place to start for you on your journey. And it kind of depends where you are in terms of thinking about self-employment and making your own business. So if you're really at the kind of early stages, perhaps you have some skill, and as other people have discussed on the call, you might see a gap in the market, you might see something that you can develop. But if you need to develop that skill so that it's something that you can make more into a business and make more marketable, then we very much can support there. We work with all of the training providers across Coventry, to a certain extent across Warwickshire and the wider region as well. So if you very much want to look at, getting more qualifications, more skills, something that you think, in the future, you could set yourself up as self-employed or develop your own business in, then we can support you there. In terms of if you're a little bit further along, you have a skill, you've seen the gap in the market, you know what you want to do, but you very much need to do that business planning, you need to do the development, you need to look at finance. That's where we'd really refer you to more specialist providers. Our Princess Trust have been on the call and been through their offer. They're one of our partners that we could refer you to. The Chamber, who I'm going to introduce you to John in a minute, who's going to go through their offer. We've also started early conversations with North Warwickshire, South Leicestershire College, and Tom, I think, is on the call a little bit later, who'll go through their offer, but we're looking at this idea of an enterprise hub in Coventry as well, and that's early stages at the moment. But that's enough from me. I'm going to hand over to John. Oh, actually, sorry, just quickly, if we go to the next slide, just our contact details there. So if you want to find out more, please get in touch, and we can get an appointment with one of our advisors set up for you, or you can just email us any questions. But yeah, I'm going to hand over to John now, who's going to talk through the Chamber offer, which is quite extensive and is a really good offer if you're in the Coventry and Warwickshire area.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you, Glenn, and thank you, Diane. I must say, it feels a little bit like the Eurovision Song Contest as we thank everybody. Just a quick say about the Princess Trust. I actually used the Princess Trust over 30 years ago, and I knew absolutely nothing in those days, and they were a godsend, and it worked an absolute treat as I expanded my career. Where I am now is I'm a business advisor here at the Coventry and Warwickshire Chamber of Commerce. It is a voice of business. It's a non-for-profit that's been going for 120 years. We help B2B and B2C businesses, small, medium and large. As a business advisor, I specialise in the startup section. There is 4 of us, and we supply free one-to-one coaching and advice to pre and post-start businesses, and it's fully funded by the European Regional Development Fund. If you're based in Coventry or Warwickshire and you're thinking of starting a business, or you already have started a business and it's less than 12 months in Coventry or less than 24 months in Warwickshire, please feel free to talk to us at the Chamber of Commerce or email me at my email address, which I'll put up again before I go. So the kind of things that we can do is that we can help look and search through grants for you, as we've got a dedicated piece of software. We've got a legal library as well, so there's all kinds of documentations that we can help and support with, and a whole category of business info. Now, to amalgamate and pull all that together, there is obviously one-to-one coaching with myself and the others, but we do workshops and masterclasses. The first one, and I think the primary one, especially if you are thinking of starting a business, is going to our Thinking of Starting a Business course, which is, you don't need to have registered before coming on to that course, but would be very that would start you off and put you in the right place, whether that's a limited, whether that's a sole trader or a partnership, or and obviously there's various other ones. The other courses that we do are business planning, business vision and strategy, and then there's winning and keeping customers. So those three together you'll be able to, after doing all three courses, you'll be able to put together a business plan and actually compile it, and you'll be in a great position to actually complete and fulfill that. We do have courses on finances, so to help you with profit and loss, cash flow forecasting, and these are from specialists within the field as well. So obviously they know exactly what they're talking about. We also have courses on branding, which is key. If I always say branding is the center and the start of the universe. If you don't get that right, you're going to really struggle with your journey. And then on to marketing and social media, which obviously all come together quite nicely. We also do specialist courses in IT, specifically on WordPress or generic building of websites. So by the end of these courses, you'll be in a position where you can actually set up confidently and comfortably, compiling and putting everything together. All appointments are done remotely, and the workshops are all done via Zoom for the time being. All our advisors are highly experienced, qualified, and we all run our own successful businesses. So we're looking for people and businesses that are thinking of starting up a business within Coventry and Warwickshire, or have started their business within the last 12 or 24 months. So please feel free to email me on that email address, or just catch me or look at our support on business support on our chamber website, which is cw-chamber.co.uk. Okay, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks so much. That was really useful, and you can see how different regions, different networks are really working together as well. So it's really awesome to see how you support the individuals in that way, but also how you connect to other partnerships as well. I know we are getting close to time, so I want to make sure everyone's got plenty of time to chat. And we also have questions that you can pop in the chat if I'm right, but we'll be answering those afterwards, just in case anyone who's been on the line has had things that they wanted to ask. We'll all connect after the seminar. So I'm going to hand over now to David and Dwayne from ACH. Their focus is on migrants and third country nationals and supporting them on their business journey.
Yeah, okay, so just to kick off and introduce myself, I'm David Jepson. My background is on economic development consultancy work. I've had periods of being self-employed myself and director of a small independent consultancy business. Right now, I'm here to give a brief introduction to this topic, and then Dwayne will follow up with some more detail. I want to thank the Combined Authority for giving us the opportunity to talk to you all, especially to meet the other providers, because as somebody previously said, really important to work together, not in competition. We're very interested in cross referrals. We're also very interested in working with other providers to make sure the particular client group that we work with, which are refugees and third country nationals, have their particular needs met through other provisions. So we're also interested to work with other providers on those topics too. So next slide, maybe. So, I mean, just to put this in some sort of context, migration is now a huge feature of the global economy and a huge feature locally. Whether we're talking about migrants or refugees or forced migration, this is a huge phenomena. And in West Midlands, I think 20% of the population of Birmingham were not born in the UK. I think in Coventry, it's more than 25%. And so this is a major feature of our localities and our communities. And there's a lot of evidence to suggest that social innovation, which is capturing social change and demographic change for the purpose of development, is an equally important driver for development than technological change. And those regions that capture social innovation will be more successful. And research has shown that migrants and refugees are more likely to become entrepreneurs than our other communities. So our view at ACH is that we need to rethink refugees as entrepreneurs, not just as people who need humanitarian help, but refugees and migrants need to be regarded as assets for the future development of our regions. I remember once the mayor of Lisbon said, cities are about innovation and diversity brings innovation. And without that, we're all finished. So I think on that note, we should focus on these particular groups and their needs. Next slide, please. It's not just me saying that. The United Nations High Commission for Refugees and Institute for Migration have acknowledged how much migration has risen up the global and local political agenda, partly with all the crises in the Mediterranean of some years ago, and also with the Sustainable Development Goals we're all supposed to be following, which highlights the importance of migration as a global phenomenon, and also notes the importance of entrepreneurship as a mechanism to tackle some of the challenges of social inclusion and economic inclusion for those communities. Next slide, please. So just a bit about ACH. We were set up about 10 years ago, largely by people from refugee and migrant backgrounds. We work with about 3,000 people a year. We provide housing and economic development support, and we have offices in Birmingham, in Coventry, in Wolverhampton, and also in Bristol. And we focus on integration, which is about autonomy and choice, and giving people the opportunities to undertake the pathways forward in their lives that they would like to do. Clearly, this has been really turned on its head by COVID, as other people have said, and the role of the digital economy, both in terms of the delivery of support and in terms of how entrepreneurs function, has been a game changer. It's a step change, and our project from now on will focus on that. We do want to work with mainstream business providers. In the past, we've been funded by the Home Office, by the Growth Hub in the west of England, by the University of Bristol, and we're now receiving funding from the EU's AMIF programme, which has allowed us to launch this support work for entrepreneurs from refugee and migrant backgrounds in the West Midlands, which Dwayne will talk about in a bit more detail in a moment. Next slide, please. So this is just to show you that support for refugees and migrants is entrepreneurs is part of a holistic approach from ACH in terms of an integration strategy. We basically offer accommodation through housing. We provide support in accessing employment, but we find about 20–25% of the client group we work with see self-employment or enterprise development as what they would like to do. Not always wisely, but often so. And migrants and refugees tend to be, as I said before, more entrepreneurial than other sections of the community. We need to invest in that, and we need to work with you other providers to make sure we're doing the best job we possibly can for these newly arrived communities. Now I'll hand over to Dwayne, who will look in a little bit more detail at some of the things we're going to be offering.
Hi, so I'm Dwayne. I'm the entrepreneur facilitator at ACH. Just a look at our model. So we focus on quality rather than on volume. So we offer one-to-one support, and there's no constraints to our business support. So we're pretty open in how we provide that business support. Next, we look at we build trust through support. The way that we work with our clients is to develop a partnership where they are the focus. So previous slide, please. Yes, thank you. And a very important thing is to understand the barriers that they face. So within specific communities, there's specific barriers. So it's part of ACH goal is to go into those communities and understand the barriers that they face, and to help individuals to overcome those barriers. Next slide. Yeah, so some of the findings that we've had is, for example, business jargons. So a lot of the people that we work with, English is not their first language, so they may struggle a bit with the language. So we have to help them with that. So part of our solution is to provide business English training, which we'll be providing on this AMIF program, and to use less business jargons when explaining processes to them. They also have a lack of access to social networks and social capital. So part of our integration program is to introduce them to mainstream services and networks. they're unable to access a local supply chain sufficiently. So again, that goes back into networking within the wider communities and cities to be able to access that support. Our services are not time limited, so we won't put them on a two-week course or a 1-month course and then sign them off as ready to start a business. We continue that support, that one-to-one support throughout. We also find that they have there's a lack of representation on various panels, on various committees that represent entrepreneurs. So I think that's where we need some diversity in perspective and background. Next slide. Yeah, so again, so it's lack of representation on the panel. So for example, we were on one panel on financing, and what we found on that panel was pretty much all the members of the panel were pretty similar in terms of their background. So what we're looking for is to increase, to have the system change by increasing diversity of thought, experience, background, perspective, the product and the services that are offered. So again, some products and services that are offered by financial institutions may not be attractive to the clients that we serve. And again, with something like this, it's not asking for new money, but actually that the money that's already on offer be offered in a manner as a product that's more suitable for the clientele that we deal with. We also find that a lot of the people that we work with see loans or debt as a burden and not as a way of improving their businesses. And there's some simple barriers that are common in the communities that we represent, but not necessarily in the mainstreams. Things such as opening a bank account. We've had experience where we've had to physically go to the bank to help people open a bank account because they were being rejected on the grounds that they were just not trustworthy enough to open a bank account. So we had to physically go in and speak to the manager in order to get the bank accounts open. Next slide. So EDEBS. So EDEBS is effective digital entrepreneurship and business support for refugees and migrants. This project will be run through the southwest of England and the West Midlands. We are working with WECA, which is the West of England Combined Authority. They are a partner on this one. And so it is to deliver this business support digitally. So we'll be having one-to-one meetings with our clients and providing digital resources. We're flexible in the way we deliver a program. So as soon as it's possible, if a client wants to have a face-to-face meeting, that's perfectly fine. We can offer that as well. The project is close to £1 million to support over 500 individuals and businesses, and it will be run over 2 years. There's no time limit on the support. Once someone comes in, we do the initial assessment, we get them on a progression plan. We will work with them throughout that time period to ensure that they achieve what they set out to achieve. The team sits, there are 2 entrepreneurial advisors, business advisors in the West Midlands. There are 2 in Bristol and an additional 2 in Bristol with the West of England Combined Authority. We focus on 2 parts. So the first part is going to be personal integration. So we do an assessment to see the needs of the individual. Sometimes they may need additional language courses. They may need additional training and certificates. So we'll help them with that. They may need help with digital skills. And then the second bit is to assess their business needs. So any business training that they may need. So some example who this is for. So it's for refugees and non-EU migrants. So we cover the entire spectrum of business support. So pre-startup, self-employment, established businesses, scale-ups, change management, and we work across all sectors. What's ACH looking for? So ACH is looking for to collaborate with current business providers, business services providers, and we're also looking for mentors. And some of the examples of how we work with existing business advice providers are, so to give you one example, we have one client who we recommended that we refer them onto the Princess Trust. They're able to do that course at the Princess Trust, and once they finished that, they needed some additional training, so we referred them into Future Bright, which is a program here that helped them to get the necessary certificates and license that he needed. And then after that, he decided that he wanted to do an apprenticeship. So even though he initially started out wanted to open an IT business, what he found was that he needed more skills, more experience, more training. And so we're able to deliver that by referring him to different partners. And then the outcome for him was that his business plan were delayed about 3 years, because that's how long he thought he would need to be able to develop the skills and the experience needed to launch his own IT business. So I think that's about it for the EDEBs and how we plan to work with additional business support. So please get in contact if you have anyone that fit this criteria, and we will be looking forward to contacting the other members of the panel to be able to refer clients into them. Okay, thanks very much.
Definitely. Thanks very much.
Thanks to you both. Thanks, David and Dwayne. I think that was really interesting to see how we're supporting businesses and entrepreneurs at a regional level, but also people who are coming to your region as well, which is amazing. Totally agree regarding your representation. We know that we're doing our Startup 2021 events. It's really important to make sure that we have diverse panelists, diverse speakers, diverse businesses that we'll be showcasing. And I think that is really key to see that people in different regions are making sure that we're welcoming lots of people as entrepreneurs and as employees as well. So I'm going to hand over now to Sean from NatWest. They've been delivering a lot of online sessions focused on entrepreneurships, resources, and also some of their startup options too. So I'll hand over to Sean now and we can get started.
Thank you, Diane, and thank you everyone for having us on the call today. So I'll keep it brief because I know that we ran through quite a lot of information already, very similar support to what's on offer. But as a bank, we have a number of different programs specifically aimed at trying to help entrepreneurs at various stages of their entrepreneurial journey. So the programme that I kind of wanted to focus on today was really all about that early stage, so pre-start and start-up phase, and it's called Business Builder. It's a free virtual tool for businesses new and established. It's an 8-week online programme, fully digital and accessible from anywhere in the UK. And we provide entrepreneurs with wraparound support. So that ranges from workshops all the way through to access to one-to-one sessions and community coaching groups. And in addition to that, we also offer them access to a whole bank of different resources that have been assembled over the last couple of years since the inception of the programme. So as you can see here from the screen, what it is basically digital learning. It was built specifically to be fully digital, but also more importantly, to be able to be worked around, be it a full-time job. So kind of minimum risk in terms of being able to understand whether you're heading in the right direction with setting up your business. A lot of the events that we run are done all on our bespoke platform, so you have access to a whole range of different topics. You have an online community as well, so you get access to a Facebook group. This is a national Facebook group, and one of the big kind of key pieces of value in terms of being able to give entrepreneurs that support from like-minded entrepreneurs on that entrepreneurial journey. We have a gateway to support, so we've got a whole hub based around current issues surrounding COVID-19 and lots of different information and booklets, workshops, things to help you if you're struggling as a business at the moment and you need that additional bit of information on how to navigate moving forward with your business model. If we move to the next slide, you can see a little bit of a preview of what we have in terms of digital learning. So we cover a whole range of different topics. A lot of what's already been mentioned on the call, the kind of standard finances, we look at customer development, we use industry leading information and learning to be able to help you navigate how to start your business and get it off the ground. Each module is made up of several video chapters, so we give you some theory around it. It's been done specifically to challenge you. You have to do a short test at the end of each of our modules so that you can move on to the next stage, and that's just to ensure that we are embedding that learning for you. You get access to PDF booklets, and then also we have chat support. So if you're looking to speak to an advisor, you're looking to speak to an individual with coaching experience of working with a business, then we can provide that for you as well. Important to note, so a couple of questions we always get asked is, first of all, do you need to be a NatWest customer to access this support? And the answer to that question is no. If you are a NatWest customer and accessing our business builder support, then you will get access to our business bank account, which comes with access to free accounting software, so you get free agent as part of the standard package. In addition to it, we have wraparound support in terms of events. So we run a number of different types of events, from group virtual coaching to question and answer sessions with one of our Accelerator hub coaches. We also have a network of partners from Pinsent Masons to Dell and Deloitte who can answer all sorts of queries, so similar to what's been mentioned previously in terms of legal support. If you're trying to understand Dell, are really helpful in helping you understand how to set up your sales pipeline. If you're looking to get a bit of advice from an accountancy perspective, then we also have Deloitte there as a partner as well. Obviously, as a financial institute, we can give you some information around financial products to help support you on your journey. We can give you access to a wide range of different financial health checks and opportunities for you to run through cash flow forecasting and so on. So a lot of kind of similar-ish support to what's already available. I suppose the big key thing for us in terms of from a USP, if you like, is our focus is largely around mindset. We regard ourselves as a mindset accelerator. We also have a big, so a kind of linear journey that you can undertake if you get through the first 8 weeks of our business builder program. That can then progress onto our accelerator proposition. So access to a 6-month program where you would have a one-to-one coach who would work with you on a monthly basis, helping you drive that business forward and really giving you that bespoke support so you can take the business to the next level. If you're successful in the 6-month program, you can then also progress on to what we call our scale program. So really businesses looking to 10x their proposition and give themselves that real kind of bespoke coaching and support with a range of different mentors available through our scale program also. We cover all the traditional stuff from how to set up your business model, how to create a marketing plan, sales strategy, do your customer discovery, and much, much more. And then in addition to all of that, you also have access to our Facebook group. So as I touched on earlier, an online community, which is really useful for a number of different reasons. So you get access to entrepreneurs. It's almost like being in your own kind of mini accelerator hub. So a lot of entrepreneurs will use this space to do customer discovery. So they'll put polls onto the Facebook page. They'll also use it to just simply ask questions or get some support from entrepreneurs who are maybe a little bit further down the line in terms of their support thus far. You can use it as an advertising space. So a lot of entrepreneurs will test out their products. So they'll put a kind of minimum viable product onto the site, give access to all of the other entrepreneurs who can then interrogate that and help give them advice and feedback on whether they're moving in the right direction. So really, really useful part, and actually one of the biggest pieces of value that I think is offered by this particular program. Moving on to the next slide, I mentioned as well that we have a gateway to support. So that covers a whole range of different things. We have entrepreneur stories on there. So we have lots of inspirational role model videos and shared experiences. We have how-to guides, so videos on opening accounts, online banking, etc. If you're trying to understand, how to set up your cash flow statements and so on and so forth, then you can use a lot of these kind of simple, quick and easy how-to guides. We have a business hub, so we've obviously as a financial institute, we're constantly out in the marketplace gaining market trends and insight data, we have a whole host of information available. So if you're looking to find out more about a specific market or a specific customer group, then you can use our Business Hub to do a little bit of deep dive into that. Our Growth Hub, as I mentioned, summarises our current COVID-19 support, as well as info on helping businesses get back to work safely. So what support through lending is available and how to apply for that. And then when we think about who it's for, so as I mentioned, we've got 3 core programs: our Business Builder program, our Accelerator proposition, and our Scale proposition. Business Builder is aimed at those individuals who are at that very kind of early stage. You've got an idea, you maybe want to find out more. It might be that you've started up and you want to get cracking and you just want to kind of get a little bit of additional support whilst working in your full-time job. It might be that you have a business already and it's kind of stunted in terms of its growth and you need a little bit of additional support to reimagine what it looks like or pivot. We also understand how to work in terms of from a climate perspective. So we have a climate accelerator that runs through the thread of each of our core propositions. So if you want to know a bit more about sustainability and building your business sustainably, then also the Business Builder program can help you with that. And obviously something that's impacted a lot of people at this, across this last year specifically, is actually it may be that you started a business and due to the COVID-19 pandemic, you had to reimagine what that business is going to look like. You maybe had to pivot and change your direction in terms of where you're going to go next and what customer groups you're going to be serving, and also maybe how you're going to serve that customer group, as we've all had a major lesson in the last year. And we can also help you with that. We can help support you in terms of understanding that, give you some coaching around what to look at and what to focus on. Over and above that, we obviously are always keen to work with partners. I know we've done a lot of work previously. So it was mentioned in the call earlier about our Back Our Business program that we run for young females. We also have a program called Dream Bigger, which is aimed at 16 to 18-year-old females. And that's really about teaching entrepreneurial education and skills so that it can set you up for success in the future world of work, whether that be starting your own enterprise or whether it be looking to actually understand how to get employed within an organisation like NatWest. We have our early careers team who also help support if you're at that graduate stage and you're looking maybe to take advantage of one of our internship programs. And all of this information is available via our website. So if you go into the natwest.com website and type in Business Builder or Back Our Business, anything like that, we have a whole business hub that tells you about all the various support that's been mentioned in the presentation today. So if you're keen on speaking with us, please do get in touch. We're always keen to know how we can support within our communities. We have national coverage, so we cover all 4 nations and are always looking to find out how we can work with different customer groups. So if you're interested in speaking to us about it in more detail, as mentioned, my name's Sean McGovern, and I'll be happy to take any questions at the end of the presentation as well today. So just leave things with a massive thank you. Please go onto our NatWest website and have a look to find out more about the support that's on offer and how that can be useful to you in terms of setting up your business. Thank you very much, Diane. I'll hand back to the next presenter.
Amazing, thanks, Sean. I think it's great to see how a lot of our speakers today are cross-collaborating. I think it's great to hear how NatWest is supporting young people as well, not just with self-employment, but also potential careers in a great employer as well. So it's great to see how not only are they supporting people with the practical advice and educational tools, but also the mindset journey as well. So it's really interesting to hear. Lastly, our final speaker today is Tom Hamilton-Dick from North Warwickshire and South Leicester College. He'll be sharing with us a little bit more about how the college offers the apprenticeships, full-time and part-time courses that can support young people moving forward with entrepreneurship goals. So I'll hand over to our last speaker of the afternoon, Tom.
Thanks, Dan. So the challenge of being the last speaker of the afternoon is, of course, what more can you say that other people haven't said on the call? And I've been overwhelmed listening to all the support mechanisms that are in place for everyone on the call today and wider society as we struggle through the COVID pandemic. So a little bit about myself. I'm Deputy Principal at North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College. I want to talk today a bit about what we do as a college, but also what our wider community group and colleges West Midlands does, which is a unique thing in our area and a collaboration of 20 colleges working in partnership for all of your needs and supports all of you. So the entrepreneurship agenda is very close to my heart. until recently, until my appointment to my new role, I ran my own business. And I'd echo what Emma said earlier on in her element of the call, that do something that you enjoy doing and you're passionate about. And mine was retailing and selling vintage watches of all things. But proof that there is a market there for everything. I only closed it down a couple of years ago because I couldn't run the business and do my job alongside. But also some of the feedback that Carol gave earlier in the call, which is really, really poignant to me. I set something up that I enjoyed doing, but I didn't know anything about keeping books or registering accounts. And I didn't access the resources that are available to all today, and I struggled through it. And whilst I did get there, it's very, very difficult. So I'd encourage all of you on the call today to reach out to any one of us who can help support you and guide you through setting up your own business. So a little bit about, you know, what the college does and how the college works. Well, like everybody, we and the wider Colleges West Midlands group have been massively affected by the pandemic. And I think true testament to, you know, you can do anything you put your minds down to. For years, all colleges had struggled with moving some provision online, for example. What more could we do for students to enable some online learning? And overnight last March, we switched online learning on, and it's been a part of our life ever since. I joined the college last March and I had 3 weeks physically in the office, and then I've had nearly a year working remotely from home and been in the office just a couple of days a week. So I think that's true testament to you really can do anything you put your mind down to. But the colleges are, you know, in my opinion, the cornerstone of the community, and all of the Colleges West Midlands group, of which there are about 20 of us, and you can find them by Googling Colleges West Midlands, work together in partnership across our region to put on programs for everyone from society, whether you're employed and looking to retrain, whether you're furloughed or recently unemployed and looking to upskill or train in a completely different field, whether you're a young person progressing from school, or whether you're an adult wanting to do a degree. There are elements at every college for all of you. But we must also respond to the pandemic. We know that nationally unemployment and youth unemployment is on the rise significantly. And we know that many people, in fact, probably no doubt many people on the call today have found themselves in a situation where they had stable employment, have found themselves unemployed and are keen to start up your own business. And my advice to you would be, if you can start a business up in this climate and you can make a success of it, then you can overcome any obstacle. And there are huge opportunities, as other speakers pointed out in the call earlier. The sudden insurgence of digital skills, you know, for many of us and all of us at the moment, we're buying everything online. The retail online business opportunities are massive. There are opportunities abundant at the moment, and I think everyone on the call, including the colleges, are here to support that. We have a significant expanse of online learning, certainly at North Warwickshire and South Leicestershire College, and many of those courses can be accessed by adults or young people, often for free, through support from people like the West Midlands Combined Authority and the Adult Education Budget. So my plea to you all is, if you are in need or in doubt, please reach out to any of those on the call that you think you resonate with. And yeah, just to touch a little bit on what Glenn said earlier on, colleges continue to need to diversify. So one of the things that we're exploring at the moment is setting up entrepreneurial hubs, possibly one in Coventry, and certainly across our region, to complement the already fantastic work that others on the call are doing today, and to support you in setting up your own businesses. There are entrepreneurial qualifications and qualifications linked to that, but there are also the skills and abilities that you need. And as I know, working I'm from a media background myself, you can have a piece of paper that says you can do it, but you also need to develop the skills and interpersonal skills and the evidence that you can do it, and we are all here to support you with that. So been very aware I'm the last speaker of the day and running over. There's not an enormous amount more I would want to say, but go for it. Absolutely everyone on the call is here to support you. Whatever we can do to help, we will. And please, if in any doubt, reach out. Thank you, and I'll hand back to Diane.
Amazing, thanks Tom. I think that does really make a lot of sense, that we are reaching out to our young people as well to make sure that we're supporting them during this time, not only just for the entrepreneurship channel that they might go down, but also this really difficult time that's been affecting them in terms of their mental health and what their future might look like. There's a lot of free resources that can talk about not only well-being, but point you in the right direction about finding something that you love. So many of the things that we've talked about today are free. And I think that's one of the things that we can really, if you take away one thing from this seminar, is that there's so many free resources if we can connect with all of these speakers after the session, to know that we can find the thing that we're interested in, that we really like doing, and whether that's self-employment or maybe working in a smaller company, really upskilling with some of the things that people have shared with us today, so that we're set up for success. When things open back up, you know, with that, we've used this time to the best of our ability to make the most of what the kind of challenges have been facing us today. So I want to thank everyone who's joined us today, all of our speakers who shared about their resources, their networks, how they support people into entrepreneurship and beyond. I'd love to thank all of the attendees today who've been here learning more about what entrepreneurship and self-employment might look like for them. It's great to have a community like this, sort of fostered by the West Midlands Combined Authority, so many thanks to them as well. As mentioned, through sort of NatWest, the Prince's Trust, we've seen so many of our support networks providing events as well, so do go ahead and check out all of the resources that we shared today. We at Enterprise Nation have our Startup 2021 event this Saturday. It would be awesome to see a lot of people there, and always connect with us via our platform and through the Amazon Small Business Accelerator. We're on track to support 200,000 small businesses this year, starting, growing and turbocharging their business. And I'm really keen to connect with all of our speakers after this session to learn more how we can sort of cross-pollinate this small business and startup ecosystem. So I'm really excited to be in touch. I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us. If one of your friends wanted to join today and couldn't, I know that this is being recorded, so you could always point them in the direction of the WMCA website and they can always catch up afterwards. You can find all of the links that you need on that homepage too. And if you do have questions, there will be a chat function. You can reach out directly to WMCA and they'll forward any of your questions that you might have to the speakers that you're interested in connecting with. So I'll leave it there. Have a lovely afternoon and look forward to seeing you on the next session.
Okay, bye. Thanks very much.
Thanks all. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks very much, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you.